Hello and welcome back, friends. It's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and today I'm presenting for Funkie Junkie. They've got a challenge that happens every couple weeks, so you really need to check it out over on their blog. So this is my fifth tag, etc. tag that I've done, and again, I kind of chose to do different tags each month based on the challenge theme. So this week, the challenge theme was Shimmering Summer Fun. So I chose to go with the bright flowers. So you can see here, I've got the base, which is the etc. tag, and again, it has gesso on it, white gesso, and then I've also added a layer of shabby shutters, distress paint, just using a brayer, and then I've got that frame, which I've sprayed with mica, tarnished brass, mica spray. And so on the base there, I used vintage photo archival ink on with the faded type stamp, and just stamped a few times to add some texture. And now I'm adding some of the texture paste on there. And then what I'm going to do is cover it with vintage photo embossing glaze. I love these glazes. They're just so much fun to play with because again, they're clear and translucent, and they just really, you get different effects depending on how you use them. So I ended up here, I am just kind of tapping it to make sure that it gets equal coverage, and I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I decided to go ahead, rather than let it dry and then go ahead and heat emboss it, I went ahead and heat embossed it, which added a few bubbles and some additional texture to the piece. And again, that is the new Deco Arch stencil that I used. I think I forgot to mention that, but again, that's one of his new stencils from the brand new release. So again, that's my base there. And the next thing I did was I cut two of the flower field dies out of the distress watercolor paper. And again, I love the paper. It's bright white, it's watercolor, it handles a whole lot of watercolor ink. So again, I'm painting with distressed inks, and you can see to the left there, you can kind of see the start of my ink palette. And again, I just really like using the distressed colors. Number one, I love the colors, and I'm very familiar with them after all these years of using them. But I really like the palette because again, you just put a couple of drops in there and it'll last for quite a while. So again, just and you refill it when you run low. So I have a lifetime supply of distress ink, I think, that I can use in my palette to watercolor when I want to. So again, I'm using shabby shutters and peeled paint for the green. And then here I've jumped ahead to some of the flowers, and you can see I've chosen really bright colors. So again, there's that wilted violet and mustard seed and kitsch flamingo, and there's carved pumpkin in there. So again, I'm just kind of finishing up coloring the flowers, and then my plan is to layer these on on the tag. So just going to kind of finish up here, adding the greens. I love the texture and the dimension that you get when you do this. It's just lots of fun, lots of bright colors, lots of bright summer colors. And I think I need a little more wilted violet. That one flower on the top right looks like an iris to me, so I thought purple was very appropriate. So then I'm just going to let those dry, and then I will be kind of staggering them and creating the layers. So this is a chipboard tag, one of Ideology's embellishment type of things, and I'm using my Ranger embossing ink dabber to get the ink on there. And then I pulled out the peeled paint embossing glaze, just kind of covered the whole thing to begin with. And then I'll add a little bit extra there. And then I decided to wipe a little bit of it off to give it a little bit of grungy goodness texture. And then I'll go ahead and heat emboss that, and you can see it doesn't cover it, it's translucent. So it's, it just really gives just a layer of pop to the chipboard when you add them on there. I just really enjoy using the glazes. And there's that, and it's going to go there at the bottom. So the next thing I was going to work on was that frame, the back of the frame, and adding those flowers. So you can see I kind of trimmed off the one piece, and we'll, make sure it's kind of up there as far as it can go, because then I want to add that other one. And I'm going to kind of move it so that, you don't have the exact same flowers in the exact same place. So I'll get that glued on, and then I'll go ahead and trim that one section off of the right-hand side here. So I've got 2 layers of the flowers there. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach the frame to the base. And there's my chipboard doll. She's been colored with distress crayons. And so I'm trying to figure out if I can add one of those extra little pieces in there. I guess I actually have three layers in there. So I'm just using my collage medium and my other white glue to attach those. And we'll get her attached on there. And then that little tag goes there right at the bottom. Had to scoot her up a little bit, make sure I could get it on there. So and I attached a butterfly at the top right. And then here I'm just using, this was a piece of, I think it's actually a Christmas twine type thing that I picked up. I found it in my stash. So I'm using just regular twine to wind it around there a few times and tie it. And then now it's time to add the frame. And so here I am going to use collage medium on this part because it's a heavier piece attaching to the base. I just really want to make sure that it attaches well. So I'm going to go ahead and use collage medium. And add it on there, and then I'm going to have to kind of play with it and push it to get it to adhere well. But again, there is my final tag. So again, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, presenting for Funkie Junkie. I'd love to have you come follow me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Blogger, and YouTube.